Prepare yourself for Inktober is approaching.
If you are new to Inktober and want to give it a try this year, you're in the right place. In this video, I'm going to explain you what is Inktober, what materials do you need, and how to prepare yourself for it. What's up guys, Lucas here. I'm a concept artist and illustrator working for video games, and this channel is all about art and art related content, so if that's something that you like, consider subscribing. So what is Inktober? Inktober was an initiative by Jake Parker, an artist that you may know from YouTube. He's an amazing artist that loves doing inking stuff, and believe it or not, he started Inktober several years ago because he wanted to improve his own inking techniques. Now he has gone way beyond that and it has become a worldwide event where the rules are pretty simple. First, make a drawing with ink. Second, post it online. And third, hashtag it with Inktober. Also, every year there is a prompt list, like an official prompt list done by Jake Parker that you can find everywhere online, that will tell you day by day what is the topic of the day, and you can just come up with an idea related to the topic. It doesn't have to be specifically that. And there are also hundreds and hundreds of alternative prompt lists. If you want something specific, there are for everything, like for Halloween, for gore, for mechs, for anatomy, and for whatever comes to your mind. You could even write your own prompt list if you feel more comfortable with that. But beware, for Inktober has its very negative and also very positive sides. So there are people that talk about the pressure and the stress that you can feel with an event like Inktober, and you can also feel it. If this is going to be your first time doing Inktober, I assure you, doing 31 drawings, do a drawing every single day, and maybe with a medium that you are not used to, can be quite heavy on yourself. Mostly if you have school or you have work or you have other responsibilities, then you don't have much time to be able to dedicate to these drawings. There is also the risk of comparing yourself to other artists, because everyone is posting online these fantastic drawings. So if you don't have as a result that you feel proud of, you can fall in the trap of comparing your work with other artists. That, of course, it's unnecessary for me to tell you that it's not the right approach. But of course, Inktober also has its very, very positive sides. Starting for drawing for yourself, because it's extremely important for you to remember why you love drawing. So instead of getting caught in your work, if you're an industry professional, for a concept artist or an illustrator or whatever, you forget sometimes why you enjoy drawing so much. So it's a nice excuse in Inktober to just go back to your sketchbook, draw your orcs, your fantasy stuff, your sci-fi, whatever you enjoy drawing. And that brings me to the second one, that is drawing traditionally. Again, a lot of people get caught up drawing only in Photoshop, in Procreate, or in digital mediums, and we forget how nice it is to just open your sketchbook and work with real paper and with real mediums. Then of course there is the improvement, which is obvious. You're going to be grinding from day 1 to the last day of October, so hopefully you will be able to see some improvement either in your techniques with traditional medium or in your anatomy or whatever you propose to yourself. Then there is a sense of community, which is actually really nice. Everyone is doing Inktober at the same time. I believe it's the biggest drawing event in the whole year, which is kind of amazing that Jake Parker started just for himself and it became this. But anyway, the sense of community of Inktober is amazing, because if you go to Facebook, to Instagram, or whatever your artists are, you're going to start seeing every single day work from all your artists that you love. Hopefully all of them are doing Inktober, and it's quite a nice feeling to also be doing it yourself and feel part of this community. And because of this, also you get to discover a lot of new artists, because everyone is sharing new art. So if you go and you follow, for example, the hashtag of Inktober, you will be able to see a lot of new artists, which is amazing. And the final factor, of course, is the fun, because it's actually a fun challenge for you to just come up with these drawings. You don't have to take it so seriously. You can simply doodle around and do something every day and have fun with it, right? Now let's get to the next topic, and that is the supplies. That is one of my favorite subjects. There are two types of artists in the wild. The ones that can just like grab their sketchbook, doodle something around, and be happy with it. And the perfectionists, the maniacs that worry about every single detail in their sketchbook. Who am I kidding? We are all maniacs. And because of that, here's my plan of attack for this Inktober 2019 that I hope it also serves you a purpose and you can get some tips from it. The first part of our plan of attack are the supplies, and you have to get familiar with your supplies. So go through your drawers and find every single ink supply that you have laying around that is not dry yet and try them out. Here are some categories that I found in between the ones that I had. The first supply that I think of when I think of Inktober is the brush pen. I'm sure that you guys have seen this tool all over the internet because artists like Karl Kopinski or Kim Jung-gi or Peter Han use this tool masterfully. Now, I have to say, and this is something that if you have used one, you know that brush pens are really hard to use because you need quite a lot of control. What is a brush pen? Well, brush pen is simply a brush that is stuck to a reservoir of ink. So you are going to be using the ink from the reservoir. That is an advantage because you don't have to keep recharging your brush every time that it gets dry. But of course, it has all the cons from a brush, that is that it's quite hard to manipulate. You have to have a very light hand for thin lines and be very conscious of the pressure that you're putting to get to the thicker lines. This of course makes the brush pen the most versatile tool in your arsenal. But of course you will need some practice to be able to work with it, so a nice goal for your Inktober actually would be to master this tool. The second category is the ballpoint pen, and this is not something that I actually think of when I think of Inktober because it's not that connected. You must have seen this tool being used by a lot of people. You have used it in your high school, in your school, and you don't necessarily use this tool for drawing, but I have to tell you, it is fantastic for drawing. It's actually my favorite tool for drawing next to colored pencils, and I'm gonna put on the screen some of the examples of the work that I have done with this tool, with the ballpoint pen, on my sketchbook. And you can see that it's actually a very versatile tool. You can use it for shading, for sketching, and for inking, the three at the same time. And what I love the most is that it doesn't smudge, so all the pages of my sketchbook can be clean, completely clean with the ballpoint pen. One big con of this tool though is that you cannot use it to do big spots of black in your drawings unless you have that you go again and again on top of your drawing, and so making big blocks of black shadow in your drawings is quite hard with the ballpoint pen. The third category for Inktober are the technical pens, and this one is, I would say, the most popular tool when people do Inktober because they're very easy to control. You just put them in the page and they immediately release a flow of line, a line that is the same width and the same strength. So they require the least amount of practice to be able to use, but at the same time they are the least versatile of your tools. They cannot be used for sketching because they immediately release the same amount of ink, and they also are not the best tools for you to create big blocks of shadow. So for me, and this is just personal choice, for me they are the worst option because they have all the cons of the other tools together and not many of the pros. And the fourth category are the felt tip pens, and this includes also things like Copic markers or any other tool that has this plastic nib on the tip. And these ones are actually very comfortable tools to be able to use because they have a little bit more control than the brush pen, but at the same time you can have the same type of line variation from very thin lines to very thick. The only thing that it doesn't have is this nice spread of the hairs of the brush when you press really hard. So that is something that I miss from the brush pen when I use some of these guys, but they're fantastic for shading. So if you want to combine several tools, then of course that is absolutely welcome. There are no rules against mixing tools. You will find links for all of these supplies in my description, but I have to remind you guys that it doesn't matter, whatever you have, it's fine. You can really have just like your school pen and a piece of printer paper and you're set to go, ready to go for Inktober. But because Inktober is a really nice excuse for you to go and buy new supplies, I did it myself. I bought a bunch of new pens, so they will be arriving soon, and as soon as they arrive, I'll make a new video about it. The next point of my plan of attack is deciding on a style, because you have heard it 1,000 times. There is always the problem of I don't have a style, I don't have a style. So Inktober is actually a really nice opportunity for you to go through the work of your favorite artists and find things that you like from some of them to incorporate them in your style. So if you're a little bit lost and you need some tips on where to start for looking for amazing inked artists, here's a list of some of my favorites. Jake Parker, who of course was the one that started Inktober. Moebius, who is a legend. Mignola, of course, also legend of comics. Katsuhiro Otomo, amazing. Joy Shinkawa, that worked for Metal Gear Saga. Evan Amundsen, which makes amazing drawings with the ballpoint pen and also of course with the brush pen. Kim Jung-gi, which I don't have to say who he is. Greg Capullo, or is it Capullo? I don't know. Greg Capullo, and of course Karl Kopinski. So those are some of the legends that I love, and if you don't know where to start, then check them out and maybe you will find something that you like for your style in Inktober. And the last point in my plan of attack, and this is very important for me because it's the reason why I fail in Inktober every single year, is to be realistic with your goals. You're going to be doing this thing every single day of the month, alright? So you have to be realistic and ask yourself, how much free time do you have on a day? Do you have 30 minutes, do you have 1 hour, or do you have 10 hours? It doesn't matter how much you have free, or better said, it does matter how much free time do you have in a day, because then you can choose and allocate this time to do a drawing every single day. Don't feel bad if you just have 10 minutes every single day. You will be doing at least consistently 10 minutes every day of the month. It's better for you to actually start slow and go improving during the whole month than suddenly dedicate 10 hours to the first couple of drawings of Inktober and then finding out that the next days you don't have time to do it. And a reminder guys, Inktober is about fun and improvement. Don't put too much pressure on yourself because you will find it stressful and pressuring and you will start comparing your work to other people, alright? So take it easy. If you miss one day, it's no big deal, okay? That's it for me guys. Thank you very much for watching this video till the end. Leave me a like if it was useful and of course subscribe if you want more content like this. I'll see you guys on the next video.